welcome to VCR Party. I'm Joe, this is Nick.
They are childhood friends who fell in love with VHS and refused to let it die. But the journey has not always been easy.
All right, so I'm surprised that we're still talking to each other after last week's...
It was contentious.
It was bad.
As we take a look behind the party.
When we look at the history of VCR Party, two words stand out more than any others. Dutch oven.
In 1645, Dutch settlers arrived in what is now Brooklyn. We must assume that among their meager possessions that crossed that vast ocean were their iron pots for cooking, which they called ovens, their Dutch ovens. Little could they have known that more than 350 years later, that location and those items would engender a controversy so great it nearly ended America's most beloved partnership of VHS scholarship.
It started, as many things do in VCR Party, with Joe bullying Nick.
My new segment is Nick's Vegan Corner. Roll the graphics, Steve.
This has the photo of me and the unflattering taken at Red Robin at like 2 in the morning. This is why I wanted to drop Nick's Vegan Corner.
Oh, because of the picture of you?
Mainly, yeah.
It's not that bad of a picture.
It's red. I look like Paul Prudhomme mixed with DeLuise. I'm more chin than man. There's a lot of things wrong.
Well, that's the angle of the photo. That's not you. Don't beat yourself up. Well, look at this. Look at this part with Joe. It says Nick's Vegan Corner with
cool.
Joe. This is what my idea was for you. You always bring on a new food video.
Yeah.
And so this one is all about cooking with a Dutch oven.
Okay, great.
Are you familiar with the other connotation of Dutch ovens?
I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Do you think everybody else is? Do I have to set this up?
You do not have to set up what Dutch oven means other than cooking in an actual oven.
But how wrong Nick was.
Do you think your parents know what Dutch ovens are?
I doubt it.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's more of a younger generation's thing.
We speak not of Dutch Oven, the thoroughbred racehorse that won the 1882 St. Leger Stakes, but the Dutch oven cooking pots. These pots used iron cast and sand, a technique developed in England based on the Dutch process for working with brass. Modern Dutch ovens use enameled steel, which makes them suitable for gas heating. Gas heating, of course, is a little too on the nose, especially for Joe's bedmate.
You think that we're right on the cusp of what Dutch ovens, like what people know about Dutch ovens?
I doubt the younger generation knows Dutch ovens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because no one uses an actual Dutch oven anymore, so it's lost its meaning.
Oh, so I have to explain what a Dutch oven is.
Yeah.
And here is where everything unraveled for Joe.
Okay. Well, all right. So when you're in bed and you have the covers on and you blast a big one, like a big smeller, and you keep it underneath the blankets and you let it really cook in there, that is a Dutch oven. So you're...
As a viewer, I was horrified. Did Joe really not know? Or was he just trying to pull the wool blanket over our eyes?
I always thought it was something you did to your partner. Like you farted and then you pull it under so that...
Oh, like it's a verb
she
then.
would have to smell
You Dutch
it.
ovened her.
Yeah. Or like you ever experienced a Dutch oven and then you... Steve's giving me the thumbs up that's what it is. It's the act of torturing your partner, whoever you're in bed with. Like sleepovers as a kid, people would do.
So
I've
I've been
Dutch oven and then
wow, I got it
over.
way wrong then. Wow.
I guess we did need to define our terms. This show is educational.
Wow, what I said was completely different from that.
It's apples and oranges.
Okay.
Joe's stubborn refusal to admit error causes him to make an insane and easily disproven claim. This invention provides Joe with a more comfortable reality, one in which he's not incorrect, but this flight of fancy with the stakes so low conjures unendingly fearful possibilities in the event he were party to an actual calamity.
I feel like the message boards are exploding right now saying, of course we know what a fucking Dutch oven is.
Well, you didn't know. You thought it was just when you fart by yourself and leave it cooking under there. That's not it. It's
What is it called when you do it by yourself?
Farting under the blankets.
No, it's a Dutch oven.
No,
you
it's
can
not.
Like single people can't have Dutch ovens?
I don't think so. You're cooking for two.
No.
I think a single person could, but
Steve-
you've got to pull the sheets over your
Steve's
head,
saying you put it over the head. You don't just fart
I'm
underneath
saying
the covers.
it's a Dutch oven because you let it cook in there.
No.
And then you release it.
We can apply Freud's theory of psychosexual phases to the disputants. Well, of course, Frenching Steve remains in the oral phase. Joe is firmly lodged in an anal phase, as all thoughts and sensations are understood through the action of the anus. Most researchers believe Nick is in the hitherto unknown ALF phase, in which the sufferer's passionate devotion to a 30-year-old sitcom defies all psychological understanding.
I mean, that's the next act. You
no,
have
no.
a Dutch oven
Steve,
is the act of...
Were you in a fraternity?
No.
Okay, but to me, a Dutch oven was always, if you're like having a sleepover as a kid or with your wife or something, you fart and then you pull the covers over both of your heads.
Why'd you ask him if he was in a fraternity?
Because this is, I have a feeling, something that fraternity guys would do, like when they're, they'd go into somebody's bed, fart, and then pull the covers over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't in a
it's
fraternity. I've Dutch oven my entire life.
It's a prank. It's something you do to torture somebody. It's not something you do by yourself.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. You let it cook under there.
I will go to my grave defending the fact, and Steve's backing me up, that it's something you torture.
Just read the message boards after
All
this.
right.
Just read the message boards,
Okay.
and they're all going to
I
say,
think
like,
we'll
Dutch
see.
ovens, you can't have a solo Dutch oven.
Apparently, Joe thought he'd been Dutch ovening himself for years. I try not to think about what he was doing and why he was doing that to himself.
If you did it to yourself, you'd put it over your head. You wouldn't just let it cook underneath you and then let it go.
I do.
No, the oven, you can't release it. The whole point is that it's cooking. So once you release
It's cooking in the Dutch oven.
But then once you release it, that's not part of the prank. That's not part of the Dutch oven. The
Dutch oven isn't a prank.
It is. It's something you do
No,
to torture
no.
somebody else.
No, Dutch oven is not a prank. Dutch oven is a thing. It's just a thing. It's a noun.
Nick's calm demeanor suggests a lifetime of placating Joe's delusions and their unwavering certitude.
A Dutch oven, you keep it cooking, and then the prank should be like releasing the Dutch oven.
What's the alternative? You're going to fart under the covers and hold them up while you do it? Like, no one does that. Just farting under the covers is what you do in general if you fart. So the fact that it's a Dutch oven is you're pulling it over your head with somebody in there with you.
No, you don't pull it over your head. You don't pull it over your head.
Oh my God.
That, Steve, is
You are not having a
100%
good
in
day.
agreement. You're going to get eviscerated. But go ahead with your Dutch oven. See, this is why I should be in charge of Vegan Corner.
I'd happily give it to you. Oh, here we
With
go.
the growing interest in Dutch oven cooking and the formation of the International Dutch Oven Society, we were fortunate enough to have Diane Thomas, who is a nationally known television celebrity and lifelong Dutch oven practitioner, to put together this video.
Tortures her
for us.
husband.
She just can't believe what you can cook in these pots. Take a look at this.
Mostly farts.
That's it.
All right.
That's the first
right,
installment
good.
of Nick's Vegan Corner with Joe.
Contentious. Well,
Yeah.
making it stick. This is a video about how to throw edged weapons. And we're just going to watch a little bit of the intro.
What if the Dutch oven video is called Making It Stink? That would be a good name, right?
Yeah, then that would really dovetail nicely with this.
I'm still a little bit mad about this whole... I'm going to stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
About the whole Dutch oven thing.
All right.
You guys are so... I mean, I'm not
We are
wrong
so
either.
right.
You have to have your head underneath
Yes,
there?
that is what a Dutch oven is. You put somebody else's head under, and yours too. You just pull the covers above your head. That's a Dutch oven.
In an attempt to detangle his own logic, Joe offered a new explanation that defied all understandings of basic physics. Viewers were aghast.
Well, I'm going to call mine like...
Making that stink.
I'm going to call mine Dutch oven Brooklyn style because that's the way that I do it. Is
As you fart under the covers?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a longtime Brooklyn resident, never once had I heard of a borough-specific technique for flatulence capture.
I fart under the covers. I keep it up to my neck like this, right?
Yeah.
I keep it secured so that nothing can escape, and it gets real nice, hot, and piping in there. And then what I do is I lift up the covers, and then I flap them down like that. Now you got a real hot one.
That's not a Dutch oven. That's
Brooklyn
a different
style.
thing.
Brooklyn style.
No.
Brooklyn style. What's
No,
Brooklyn
call
style?
it a convection oven. Call it a rotisserie, but it's not a
but
Dutch
it's
oven.
a form of a Dutch oven according to your term.
No, a Dutch oven involves putting your head under the covers.
I know, but it's not going to smell as bad when it goes under. That's why I do it Brooklyn style.
All right, it's not a Dutch oven. You call it what you want, but it's
It's a
not
Dutch
a Dutch
oven Brooklyn style.
No, it's whatever. It's something
a fart
else.
under the covers is a Dutch oven.
No, that's all farts. No one's like gonna stick their ass out of the covers while they're in bed just to fart.
But how do you? Okay, so what is it? You put the covers over the other
You
person's
fart.
head. How do you put the
okay,
covers over another
let's
person's
say your
head?
wife, Albertina, who is here. Let's just use her name. You're in bed with her. She's looking at her phone. You're reading a book. You blast a big one. You, without her knowing, you take the covers and you put
If I blasted a big one, she knows that it happened.
Before she can get away, you take the covers, you put them over both of your heads, and you say,
The way that she
you're in a
reads,
Dutch
the way
oven.
that she reads, she more sits up. So she's gonna be like this. She's gonna block it like that.
Okay, well, she's not reading. Let's say she's trying to fall asleep. Okay, that's when you do it. You strike when she's least expecting it. And I've never actually done this, and I know what the fuck it is. So I'm expecting you, who considers yourself a fart expert, would know the definition. But
Well, but how do you know that's the definition?
just colloquially, this is what
Colloquially,
everybody did in school.
This is what everybody did in school.
They talked about it at slumber parties. Dan Hoverson would do them. Andy Martin would do them.
And you were there taking notes.
And then I've heard girlfriends talk about Dutch ovens too as a joke, and they know what it is. So I think you're the only one who didn't get the memo. All right.
Well, I think
First
it's because
video-
I think it's because I reinvented the Dutch oven, really.
Okay, call it something else then. All right. First video, people with
Why am I exhausted
something
right now?
less tedious. That's more exercise we normally get on VCR Party.
Well, I think I got so worked up with the whole Dutch oven thing.
Yeah, your
and,
blood's boiling.
Yeah.
We
and
want to
then-
go out with something?
Yeah. Do you want to dive into the controversy now? Yeah, and I was wrong. I'm going to apologize to everybody out there
Okay.
for getting Dutch ovens wrong. What I was doing was a Dutch oven Brooklyn style, and I was not doing just the regular Dutch oven. I was doing it Brooklyn style, which is how we do it in Brooklyn here.
I didn't hear "I'm sorry" yet. I mean, so in the mail from Amazon, we got 2 T-shirts, and I don't know if these are custom made.
Why aren't we wearing these right now?
Yeah, it's Dutch Oven University, which is maybe we could teach a class on what a Dutch oven is. Well, I could teach a class on it.
We always have great comments on these live shows.
So someone said that Joe has credibility issues after Dutch Oven Gate. What I decided to do is put together a montage of all of the Dutch ovens that they say in that video.
Oh, okay.
Except for like 16 of them.
With the growing interest in Dutch oven and the formation of the International Dutch Oven Society, we thought it would be a great time to put together an instructional video for the lifelong Dutch oven practitioners. Diane's going to show you these Dutch ovens. Take a look at this.
You're going to want to know which Dutch oven is right for you. Deep Dutch oven, 8-inch Dutch oven, 10-inch Dutch oven, 12-inch Dutch oven, 16-inch Dutch ovens. It is the official Dutch oven for the Boy Scouts of America. Now that you know which Dutch oven you're going to use, put them onto the Dutch oven, right in the Dutch oven, in the Dutch oven, Dutch oven, Dutch oven. From that day on, I've been hooked on the Dutch oven. Now that you have all of the briquettes on the Dutch oven, you'll have this Dutch oven that you'll be cooking in the Dutch oven. We'll take the Dutch oven, place it on top in any Dutch oven, and you're all ready to cook on the Dutch oven. You can also use your outdoor Dutch oven into the Dutch oven to recondition the Dutch oven. You don't want that Dutch oven to rust at all. I'll take the Dutch oven, place the Dutch oven on top of that, drape it to one side of the Dutch oven, then take the Dutch oven, place it back into the Dutch oven until your next Dutch oven. A great place to start Dutch oven cooking is on the bottom of the Dutch oven. I've been heating the Dutch oven. Always line the Dutch oven with Dutch oven. It's a 12-inch Dutch oven. Anybody can cook in a Dutch oven. The best part of Dutch oven is sharing it with your family and friends.
It became clear we'd failed them. We'd never get to the bottom of it, and we were resigned to remain in the dark, under the covers, in tears for the rest of our days.
The big worry is, what's Joe going to do with this newfound knowledge?